Hey guys, I'm Andrew, and today I'm making kind of an interesting video. I want to talk about a couple things that Jagex really needs to fix or adjust in old school RuneScape for high-level players, I would say, but in a way this really affects everyone because a lot of these things will affect people in the future, even if you don't really have the requirements to access them yet. So the main things I want to go over in this video are the 2K worlds and the thermonuclear smoke devil boss, and why they are extremely flawed right now and just really have to be fixed. So let's start with the 2K worlds. The main thing, the problem with them is that they're one of the most difficult things to access in the game. It takes a very high total level to get to them, obviously. Very few players have 2,000 total. If you just pick a random group of players, only a few usually have it. And look at the ping in these worlds. They're extremely laggy. There's two of them, 349 and also 361. And they are just extremely laggy in a lot of ways. For example, not only do they disconnect often, but the ping on them is just incredibly bad. So you can kind of see when I'm walking around, sometimes, look at that, it just kind of randomly lags. Random pets spawn behind you, random shit happens, and look at this. So look, it's hard to really tell without playing it yourself, but sometimes it just takes a long time for things to happen. Little lags like that, little spurs like that happen. You know, sometimes it's okay, but usually when you're running around, it'll just lag while you're running, as you saw a few times already. It's really hard to show you guys this without seeing it firsthand, but there's a couple other ways. But just for that time, it took a little while and looked lagged on the way there. And just for an example, and just to be totally fair here, I'll go to another English world here, world 50. And we'll see that this issue is going to be completely fixed. I'm playing on wired internet with my router right next to me, right hooked up to the computer, and no issue. It's extremely responsive. Everything looks perfectly nice. Look how responsive that is on a normal non-2K world. Just instantly things start moving the very next tick there, no issues whatsoever. And so I can show you a couple other examples of this. So let's go back to the 2K world, which again, these worlds aren't even always online. They can be very unstable at points. Look at this. Look how long this is taking just to load. So there's a really great way to show you this, but I'll show you another way first before I show you that. Look at how long it takes the hit splats to appear when I attack. They kind of just are random. This looks okay, but just in general, it's very, very laggy. Let me try to show you another one, because that wasn't really a great example. So sometimes it's really hard to notice, but the hit splats just don't really appear for a while, and if you try to do, that's a great example right there. It just took forever for that to appear. But the real best example, and I'll just kill this guy real quick, sorry, fell out of regard, is the cannon. Look how awful this is. So let's just set up the cannon. Not only do I want you to watch, but I also want you to listen. So let's take a look. Let's set up the cannon, and you're going to watch and listen, because I'm playing with game sounds on here, as to how laggy this thing actually is on these worlds. So cannon's all set up, we're up and running. And watch the rotation of the cannon. It's supposed to rotate once every tick, but watch what it does. It just kind of skips around. Look at that. Do you hear that? It's totally, totally laggy. Everything on these worlds are a lag fest. Nothing works properly. The game is incredibly glitchy, so let's go back to World 50 here just to show you how this is only these worlds. So we'll set up the cannon base yet again, and let's see if there's any lag this time. Maybe it's just my computer, if it's going to happen on this world. Look at that, nice and smooth, no problems whatsoever. Nice smooth rotation, rotating one time every tick like it's supposed to. And yeah, everything works fine, the game's perfectly responsive, the ping is fine. And yeah, so I really don't understand why these worlds are having these problems, and apparently Jagex does not either. Me and other people, we've tweeted JMods about this, and the unplayability of these worlds just kind of is a mystery to them, and they don't really seem to have any concern about trying to fix it. It's a really disappointing thing for people who get 2K total and find out these worlds are, you know, it's a really overused term, unplayable, and they're not unplayable. You can do certain things and it doesn't really matter that it's lagging, but for the most part, you're not going to be playing on a 1 second extra ping world for all of your gameplay, and these worlds are extremely empty, not just because not many people have 2K total, they're empty because nobody wants to play on them, and Jagex doesn't really seem to care about fixing them. I'm not sure why. Like I said, I don't know why they're so laggy. Maybe someone's slowly DDoSing them over time or something. I don't know. But Jagex either has to make new servers for 2K Worlds that aren't laggy, or somehow try to fix these ones, because it's just really an unacceptable thing. And yeah, I don't know. I understand that it's tough. Server work is a difficult thing. It's confusing. But as a company, they should have some people working on this to fix it as soon as possible, rather than have no updates on it whatsoever, ever. So yeah, that's the first issue. Now let's talk about the second one. So the second issue in Old School that really needs addressing is this boss in particular, the Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, also known as Thermi. This monster is one of the highest level requirement monsters to kill in the entire game. It requires 93 Slayer, and it has some of the most awful drops of any boss in the game, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. There are so many things Slayer related that have better drops than this that it's unbelievable. Necreals and Gargoyles will give you so much more money per hour than this, with almost no effort compared to this boss. This boss isn't exactly hard, but it requires it's a very click intensive boss, and you pretty much can't take your eyes off the screen. And for a 93 Slayer boss, which takes well over half the time of getting 99 Slayer to kill, it's just pretty unacceptable. Let me read you off some of the drops that it drops. Pretty much very, very common. So all of these are worth under 10k by far. So it can drop nothing, 100 smoke runes, which is about 2k, 300 air runes, 60 soul runes, which are worthless, 100 rune arrows, pure essence, which is worthless, desert goat horn, mithril bars, grapes, kebabs, tinder boxes, bullseye lanterns, fire talismans, and yeah, it can also drop, like I said, rare drop table stuff. It's really just an awful boss to kill because of the drops, and it's made even worse by the fact that recently the occult necklace crashed, so that's about 400k now, which is its signature drop. I mean, it also drops the battle staff, but that's quite rare, and that's only a couple mil as well. So there's really no reason to kill this boss other than the pet, as you see me doing here. I'm going for the pet, and I haven't gotten it yet. But assuming nothing changes with this boss, there's really no reason to ever kill it without the pet, which, for one of the hardest requirements of a Slayer monster in the game, the fact that there's only one reason to kill it, and just because of a pet, which not everyone cares about pets. I care about pets, but that really shouldn't be the only reason to kill a boss, because of a pet drop. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. They need to do a lot of things to the drop table. First of all, they should remove all of those troll drops. There's no reason for a boss of this caliber to be dropping things like tinder boxes or bullseye lanterns. They need to bolster the normal drops. For example, it does drop a magic seed, but it's very rare. They can make that more common. Maybe could drop 2 of them. They could change the rune drops. Instead of fire runes, how about death runes or something? Maybe death runes are a bad example because I think those are crashing or something. But they really need to work on this, and perhaps they could also give it something that would be a good signature drop of the boss. For one, they can make it so the occult necklaces don't drop from the baby ones, which are very good XP, by the way. Another reason not to kill the boss, because the baby ones are very good XP and they're very AFK. Maybe they can make it so only the boss drops the occult necklace, which would definitely make it increase in value. And they could maybe add a signature drop, like, for example, they could add a new cape. Magic hasn't had a new cape in, 10 years plus. The Mage Arena capes are just the 10 mage bonus capes. Maybe it could drop a new cloak or something that gives 15 mage bonus, and it's very rare, but it could be very expensive, and that definitely wouldn't be overpowered. Mage bonus is not really an overpowered factor in the game. It's not like it would have to give a damage boost or something. A plus 15 to magic accuracy and defense cape could be a very nice drop from this. They could call it something, very simple, like the smoke cloak or something, smoke cape, whatever they want to do. That's just my idea. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments as to what this boss can drop. But right now the drops are just pathetic. Getting smoke runes and and those are the very common drops too. You might see some decent drops in its drop table, but it almost never drops those. This boss is probably about a few 100k per hour to kill at the very most, which is just really, really pathetic. And right now it's dead content unless you're a pet hunter like me, and you're going to put yourself through 3 or 4 hours of doing this task for pretty much no reward whatsoever. So yeah, that's really the 2 main things, but I do want to talk about one little bonus thing. This isn't one of the 2 main things, but a little bonus thing that doesn't really affect me, but I think it does affect some portion of the old school community. So let's talk about that real quick. So here I am on world 345, and you may remember this world. This is the original Deadman mode, which has almost nobody playing it anymore for one reason in particular. Not only because, some people might say Deadman mode isn't that popular in general, but I think the main reason this mode really there has no really hope right now of taking off is because of this. Look what happens when I try to use the GE. It doesn't work. Why? The GE works on the seasonals, it works on the tournaments. They really need to add it to this mode because like I said, I don't really play this mode, but the people who do have to trade everything manually. It's very ancient, it's very outdated, and it's really just not fun. I've seen videos of people who play this, and it seems frustrating as hell for those people because it's so hard in an economy with a few hundred players to find the items you need. And in my opinion, the Deadman tournaments, which one I'll be playing later this month, and the seasonals, they should really act as a kind of promotion for this world. Rather than just have this world being dead content, I think permanent Deadman could be actually a very fun thing if the GE was an option. And I know the GE doesn't work great on Deadman because of the low player base, but I really think could be added, and I would be interested in playing this more if there was the GE in it. But instead, it's just totally disabled. What happens if you talk to these people? Yeah, I think it's just not going to let me do anything here. So yeah, that's a little bonus thing I'd like to mention, is that they should add the GE on Deadman mode. It's really about time for this to happen. I think they've talked about this for a long time now, and they just never really do it. So come on, let's get around to doing it. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Please like if you enjoyed, and if you agreed with anything I said. I know that a lot of these changes don't affect a lot of you guys directly right now, but I feel like you guys will have 93 Slayer in the future, or 2K total if you don't have already. And these changes are really beneficial to everyone if they were made just for the health and longevity of the game in general. So I've also made a Reddit thread about this video, and I'll put that in the top of the description. Maybe we can get some upvotes and get some JMods involved in making these changes happen. I've tweeted Modash about these changes in the past, and while he seems like he'd support all these changes, it doesn't seem like there's much urgency or really priority about them. So I think they definitely need to be moved up the food chain rather than, silly little updates here and there that we're getting. I think that these would really help out the game in general and provide some more high-level content, which is something that OSRS could always use some more of. So otherwise, guys, please comment if you have any suggestions. What should Thermi drop? Should it drop a new item? Should it drop more alchables, things like that, cash drops, whatever you guys think. I'm very interested to hear. Also, please join the clan chat. That is Andrew AJT62. Same as my YouTube name as always. That'll be on screen, or you can just type in my YouTube name, of course. And yeah, I'll definitely see you guys soon. Follow me on Twitter for updates. I post OSRS related updates pretty much all the time, so that's in the description. And also follow me on Twitch. I'll probably be doing the KBD mask within the next few weeks, and you guys will have an invite video up about that. So I'll let you guys know about details about that when it's coming up. And yeah, also join the Discord. That's still been very active as always. Very happy I created that a few months ago. It's really turned out very nice. So that's about it for this video, guys, and have a great day, and I will hopefully see you guys soon. And yeah, have a good one.